time for a drink of water. Alright, so I've got the cutter cribbed up. I've got it to where I can get up under it with my creeper. It's cribbed up on the other side too. And this tractor is pretty good about holding, but I do have some blocks up under it anyway. So now it's time to get those blades off. Alright, so I've got to line up that pin to the top of that hole so I can get to that little clip. Then I can knock these pins out. That should be lined up. And it is pretty good. There's a little bolt right there that I have to take out, and then then you can take your clip out, and then you can take that little clip out, and the shims, and then you can knock your pan down. Alright, I think it's a 3/4. Let's see if, looks like it's gonna fit. Yep, I think it's gonna fit. Alright, let's see if I can get this off. Alright, now it's time for the ratchet. This is, Woods kind of claims that this is a much easier way to get your blades off, because you don't have to deal with a huge net that a lot of times will get rusted on. But you do have to deal with these little clips and shims and plates that all have to line up. And man, they just don't give you a lot of room to take this out. So that's it. That's the one. That's the see if I can move it over. That's the nut that holds the blade in. That's all there is to it. Then we have to take this little clip out. Yeah. This little clip comes out. There's a plate. Alright, after much beating and banging and prying, finally got this out. This is some sort of keeper plate. And now I gotta get these shims. There's some shim plates in here that I've got to get out. So I'll take those out. I'll show you what's left. Those shim plates are just real thin pieces of steel. Oh yeah, I got the plate, or the shim. So there's the shim. Alright, and that one only has one shim on it. There it goes. Alright, blade one is off. Alright, we're taking the blades off of this Woods DS96. Let me show you what the blades look like. You can see it's not, we haven't cut since the spring, but it's pretty beat up and pretty dull. So we're going to put a little finer finish on it. Grind that down a little bit. It's not in terrible shape, but so here's how this blade goes. You get the pin that holds this blade on, and then you've got a shim plate. Get this grass. You get this shim. So the bar, the bush hog, the stump jumper, and the blade bar goes right here. So the shim goes on top of the bar like that, and then you get this plate that you put on, and that goes on like that, and this actually swings around like that. Then you get this little clip that goes up under like that, and it fits up in there, and then your bolt goes down like that. So that's pretty much the anatomy of what this thing looks like. Too sharp, but that's alright, it'll dull up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one back on so I don't have to move the jack. Everything's lined up. I'm just going to take these off one at a time and then sharpen them and then put them back on. Oh, and I always like to put a little bit of grease on this stuff. Probably should put it never sees, but so far, so good. I think this is the third time I think we've had these blades off, and we've never had an issue taking them off. You take them off regularly enough, and we keep it, you know, in the barn, out of the rain, so it doesn't rust up. It doesn't have the tendency to rust up. Now, since I'm here by myself, what I will do is take this jack and hold the blade and the pin up in there. Alright, here's where you need either a second set of hands, or I like the jack because it doesn't get tired. Okay. Alright, so now it's good and snug. Okay, the nut's turning. So just need to snug that up. That blade will be done.